A divine message has been sent directly to you, a sacred summons from the Lord your God. There is a destiny, a heavenly and earthly inheritance with your name written on it, but the forces of darkness are working overtime to rob you before it reaches your hands. This is urgent. You're not hearing this by accident. You've been feeling something, a stirring deep in your spirit, a shift you can't explain, like something monumental is approaching but hasn't yet arrived. That unsettling sensation is not random, it's a signal, a spiritual alarm going off because heaven is trying to get your attention. There's an inheritance waiting for you, one that touches both the unseen and the visible, a blessing that spans eternity and this moment, a wealth both in the spirit and in your bank account. The enemy's mission is to keep you from claiming it, feeding your mind fear, doubt, distractions, and delays. But today, God is breaking the silence and revealing that you are on the brink of something life-altering. This isn't a vague promise or poetic comfort. It's literal, powerful, and about to become evident. The plans for your breakthrough have already been written, but they require your response. Listen, you are about to receive phone calls, contracts, financial relief, and divine connections, but the timing is fragile. If you ignore this word, it may cost you dearly. In the spirit realm, warfare is already underway, trying to derail your faith and confuse your path. Even those near you can feel the weight of what's approaching, they sense a shift, and some are even reacting out of jealousy or fear, unaware of the spiritual storm brewing around your future. The increase in conflict and spiritual resistance is proof of the magnitude of what's coming. But God is stepping in now to issue a divine instruction: do not give up. Do not walk away. Stand up and declare with boldness, I refuse to forfeit my God-given inheritance. This declaration isn't mere encouragement, it's the ignition key. When spoken in faith, it unlocks what's been blocked for generations. That dream that's been buried but refuses to die. That persistent inner knowing that something more is waiting. That's not fantasy. That's prophecy in motion. You've been chosen to inherit a divine legacy, one filled with provision, power, restoration, and purpose. This inheritance is multidimensional. It includes reconciliation, joy, abundance, new beginnings, and the resources to walk out your calling with strength. It includes money, land, influence, and spiritual authority. God isn't just moving in invisible realms, He's aligning visible outcomes. Tangible breakthroughs are in transit. And yes, this is real. Heaven is authorizing earthly transformation. Property, business, relationships, and resources are being orchestrated behind the veil. You've been closer than you realize. Every false start, every door that slammed unexpectedly, every time it felt like you were about to break through but didn't, those were skirmishes in a greater war over your inheritance. But now God is speaking clearly, the release is near, and the timing cannot be missed. The enemy has launched coordinated attacks, fear, fatigue, setbacks, internal sabotage, because he sees the treasure being lowered into your hands. But today, light is invading the darkness. You are not a spiritual orphan. You are a legitimate heir. You were not created for scarcity or shame. You were crafted for victory, for purpose, and for prosperity that echoes into eternity. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead confirms your inheritance. If you are His, then you are entitled to everything He promised, both in heaven and on earth. No longer accept the crumbs when the table is set for you. Stop shrinking when you were called to take territory. This inheritance isn't ego, it's alignment. It's honor to the Father who prepared it, to the Son who purchased it, and to the Spirit who guides you toward it. There are divine transactions happening. Transfers of wealth, restorations of relationships, documents being released, assignments being realigned, and resources shifting into the hands of the righteous. God has seen every tear, every delay, every betrayal, and He is redeeming the time. But you must act. You must believe. You must declare. You must say now with conviction, I receive what is mine. I will not let the enemy deceive me or rob me again. This is your moment to speak, to sow, to step forward in faith and reclaim everything that has been delayed. The Bible is not silent about this. It speaks directly and repeatedly about wealth stored for the righteous, of houses filled with treasure, of offspring blessed, of abundance that is not only spiritual but financial. This is not manipulation, it's revelation. And with revelation comes responsibility. If you've been wondering why the promise hasn't manifested, understand that heaven requires agreement. Your faith is not just a feeling, it is a key. Your obedience is not just good behavior, it is the legal access to what's already been declared. Many have been living like outsiders in the kingdom of their own Father because they have not taken their place. Heaven does not respond to passivity, it responds to authority. Maybe you've been faithful in name but distant in spirit, entertaining doubt, fear, unholy alliances, or spiritual weariness. Maybe you've tolerated words of defeat that have silently strangled your momentum. But the Lord says, today is the day of reversal. You can reclaim what's been lost. You can shatter the lies that have chained your confidence. Every tongue that has spoken against you, consciously or unconsciously, is being silenced by the blood of Christ. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not average. You are marked. You are chosen. You are set apart. But chosen people must choose to walk in it. God is handing out keys right now, and your faith is the grip that takes hold of them. Release your doubts. Reject small thinking. Step into the larger narrative God has for your life. The storms are confirmation, not condemnation. When resistance rises, it is often because something has shifted in the heavens. Prophetic dreams, increased warfare, unexplained emotional weight, divine disconnections, these are all signs of movement. You're not losing, it's pruning. You're not failing, it's formation. Everything is aligning for a divine release. Don't pull back. Press in. Now is not the time to faint. Now is the time to declare, to sow, to move, to act. You are about to inherit not only what was promised to you but also what was held back from previous generations. You are breaking cycles. You are restoring legacy. You are unlocking streams of favor that will touch lives beyond your own. And if you believe that, if your spirit is resonating right now, then make this the moment that shifts your atmosphere. Speak it. Write it. Act on it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Say it out loud and type it as a declaration: I am an heir. I take hold of the inheritance. I receive what heaven has prepared for me. This is not symbolic. This is spiritual law in motion. You have waited. You have wrestled. You have wept. But now you will walk. Walk into favor. Walk into fullness. Walk into the inheritance that has always belonged to you. The time is now. This is the season where the veil is being torn, not only the one between heaven and earth, but the veil over your understanding, your vision, and your confidence. You are not just stepping into an answered prayer, you are stepping into alignment with divine orchestration that has been building for years, even generations. Your ancestors prayed for this moment. Some of them died with the promise still echoing in their bones. But you are the fulfillment. You are the continuation of their faith. You are the living manifestation of what they only saw in dreams. Do not minimize what's taking place. Do not mistake this for coincidence or timing alone. This is divine acceleration. What took others decades to attain, God is compressing into moments for you. The pace is picking up. Heaven is hastening the work. And while the world may call it luck or breakthrough, you'll know it as inheritance, a harvest you didn't sow alone but are being empowered to reap. The battles you've been fighting recently have not been for nothing. The sleepless nights, the strange warfare, the relationships that crumbled without reason, the sudden closures and blocked paths, these were not signs of failure. They were signs of redirection. God was not rejecting you, He was rerouting you. The road you were on couldn't carry the weight of what's coming. He had to strengthen your core, clarify your mind, and purify your circle. This inheritance isn't just about material blessings, it's about governing new dimensions. It's about wielding influence with purity, holding favor with humility, and stewarding abundance with wisdom. So yes, you had to be stripped before you could be crowned. You had to walk alone before you could lead others. You had to learn to discern spirits, separate wheat from chaff, and hear His voice above the noise. And now that you've endured the fire, you're ready for the oil. Not just any oil, but oil that marks kings, oil that sets apart prophets, oil that breaks generational yokes. This oil isn't cheap. It came at the cost of your obedience, your private tears, your public silence when you could have defended yourself. Heaven took note. God saw every injustice, and He is not unjust to forget. Your reward is not just coming, it's arriving. Incremental at first, then suddenly. Subtle confirmation, then undeniable overflow. Expect unexpected favor. Expect opportunities to collide with readiness. Expect the unlikeliest doors to open at your knock. And when they do, walk in boldness, not apology. You belong there. You were chosen for that table. Stop second-guessing your seat. Stop asking for permission from people who were never part of your prophecy. The season of proving yourself is over. Now is the time to possess. You are not in competition. You are in covenant. God is not placing you based on popularity, He is positioning you based on purpose. You don't need approval from those who mocked you. You don't need validation from those who doubted you. What God is doing in you is undeniable, and soon it will be uncontainable. You are being promoted in both spirit and stature. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Your voice is echoing in spaces you haven't even stepped into. And every time the enemy tries to remind you of your past, remind him of your prophecy. You're not defined by where you've been, you're marked by where you're going. Even now, angels are moving. Assignments are shifting. The wind of the Spirit is blowing, not to destroy but to deliver, to carry you from stagnation to supernatural movement. Don't resist the change. Don't cling to expired seasons. Let go of what you lost and make room for what's greater. You can't inherit the new if your hands are full of the old. This is the hour of open hands and surrendered hearts. What you thought was the end is actually the beginning. What looked like a breakdown was the setup for breakthrough. And what felt like abandonment was heaven making room. You are being expanded, not just in influence but in capacity. God is enlarging your territory, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. You are being entrusted with people, platforms, provision, and power, but not for ego. For impact. This isn't about titles. This is about transformation. You are called to be a repairer of the breach, a restorer of paths, a voice in the wilderness, and a carrier of light. Wherever you go, darkness must back down. Wherever you speak, truth will rise. Wherever you step, ground will be taken. You are not random. You are a solution. You are a weapon. You are a vessel. You are a key. And to every principality and power that thought you'd fold under pressure, the Lord is sending a response through your life. This one didn't break. This one didn't bow. This one still believes. Your endurance is proof of your anointing. The attacks weren't proof that you were weak, they were confirmation that you're a threat. And the more the enemy tried to silence you, the louder heaven prepared to amplify your voice. Now, the Spirit says, arise. Shine. For your light has come. Not just in theory, not in religious cliché, but in tangible reality. Your light is here. Your moment is here. Your inheritance is being handed over. No more delay. No more doubt. No more retreating. You are called to build what others couldn't, to go where others feared, to say what others muted. You are not just favored, you are trusted. God trusts you with this mantle. He trusts you with the influence, the wealth, the weight of destiny. Don't take it lightly. Don't wear it loosely. Walk like someone sent. Speak like someone sealed. Move like someone marked. And in this next chapter, you will not just receive, you will release. Others will be healed through your testimony. Chains will fall because of your obedience. Families will be restored through your boldness. Territories will shift through your intercession. Do not measure what's next by what you've seen before. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, minds haven't imagined what God is about to release through you. Write the vision. Speak the vision. Sow into the vision. Protect the vision. It is bigger than you. It is not just for your household but for the generations connected to your yes. And now is the moment where heaven and earth agree, your season of delay is over. The appointed time is now. The scroll is open. The angel has been dispatched. The seal has been broken. Your inheritance is being released. And now hear this clearly, heaven is issuing a divine summons. Not a suggestion, not a gentle nudge, but a royal command. Rise from complacency. Shake off the dust of delay. Remove the garments of mourning. The time for grieving over what was is finished. The trumpet has sounded in the Spirit, and those with ears to hear will respond. No more waiting for confirmation after confirmation. You are the confirmation someone else is praying for. You are the answer to a cry. You are the embodiment of a promise. The earth groans not for another influencer, but for manifest sons and daughters. Creation is groaning for you to show up, not as a copy, not in fear, not in diluted form, but in full, fiery authenticity. This next level isn't about climbing ladders or chasing clout. It's about fulfilling kingdom assignments. And your assignment carries weight. You didn't survive the fire to return to normal. You didn't endure the pruning just to blend in. You were set apart for impact, consecrated for confrontation, refined for revelation. What was once hidden is now being revealed. What was once misunderstood is now being honored. You are stepping into visibility, not because you asked for it, but because God is using you as a divine spectacle, a living epistle. People will look at your life and see what obedience births. They will witness transformation, and they will inquire, "How did you do it?" And your only answer will be, "I didn't. He did." There will be days where your hands shake, but your faith will be unmovable. Days when fear knocks, but boldness will answer. You are not void of emotion, but you are ruled by Spirit. You are being called to pioneer in places where there is no blueprint. To build where others retreated. To occupy what hell once claimed. The territory you're stepping into is not just physical, it is spiritual. You're entering realms of understanding, influence, and authority. And yes, it will be costly. Yes, it will be lonely at times. But the oil flowing from your life will break chains off of others. That's why you were crushed, not to be destroyed, but to be poured out. Every wilderness you walked through was a womb. Every season of silence was a school. And now, graduation has arrived. Don't be afraid to step out, even when the instructions make no sense. God is not obligated to explain himself, but he is faithful to perform. Obedience will open what intellect cannot. Surrender will unlock what strategy never could. Some of the greatest doors in your life will not come by hustle, but by yieldedness. You will win battles you never fought. You will receive answers you never asked for. You will see favor chase you down, not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. Positioned in humility. Positioned in trust. Positioned in radical faith. Your voice is being amplified. What once felt like whispers in your prayer closet will now echo in nations. The same way David was called from the fields and anointed in front of his brothers, you too are being called out of obscurity. But be warned, this favor is not for comfort. It's for conquest. You will be called to slay giants others have tolerated. You will confront altars that generations bowed to. You will dismantle lies that religion embraced. And through you, truth will rise. Through you, healing will spread. Through you, God will make himself known. Do not fear the magnitude of your assignment. Heaven is backing you. Angels are encamping around you. Divine strategy is being downloaded. Wisdom is increasing. Discernment is sharpening. Resources are being released. What you lacked in the past season, you will carry in surplus in this one. No more scraping to survive. Now you are being equipped to sustain and overflow. Your cup isn't just being filled, it is being pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And that overflow is not just for you. It is for every life your obedience will touch. You are a well, a reservoir, a distribution center of miracles, hope, and breakthrough. People will come to drink from what you carry. And you must stay connected to the source. Don't confuse the assignment with the anointing. Don't confuse the platform with the presence. Stay low in spirit, even as God lifts you in influence. Stay on your face, even as He gives you a stage. Stay hungry, even when surrounded by abundance. This is not the time to coast. This is not the time to mimic others. This is your burning bush moment, where God reveals Himself and reveals you. The same fire that calls you will also consecrate you. You cannot carry this glory and stay casual. You cannot be entrusted with this authority and remain lukewarm. Heaven is calling for your full yes. Not your convenient yes. Not your partial yes. But your complete surrender. And to those around you who won't understand, love them anyway, but don't let them delay you. The cost of your calling is too great to carry dead weight. Some doors will close. Some connections will fall off. Let them. Anything not rooted in your purpose must be pruned. This next level requires agility. obedience on demand, faith without hesitation. And here is what the Lord is saying now: you will recover what was lost. You will redeem what was stolen. You will rebuild what was ruined. And you will rejoice where you once wept. Your life is about to bear witness to divine reversals. The places that mocked you will marvel. The tables that excluded you will prepare a seat in your honor. And the very wounds that once caused shame will now release healing. Get ready for vindication. Get ready for restoration. Get ready for multiplication. What took years will now take weeks. What was stagnant will now accelerate. What was blocked will now break open. This is not hype. This is heaven's agenda. You've entered the days of fulfillment. The kind where your eyes will see what your spirit carried. Where your feet will walk where your prayers once aimed. Where your testimony will be too large for words. You'll only be able to point upward and say, "Only God." So guard your gates. Protect your peace. Build the altar. Shut the door. Watch God move. What's coming is holy. What's next is weighty. What's stirring is historic. Stay postured. Stay pure. Stay ready. This is the inheritance of the remnant. This is the reward of the refined. This is the era of the fearless. This is your time.